ways that we communicate with the world around us. We text, we talk on the phone, we chat online, we Facebook our friends, we write blogs.
And all of those things are really important, but no matter how we use technology, we still need to learn to communicate face-to-face. It's important to be able to say exactly what you're thinking and feeling, and that is not always easy.
That's right. But communication isn't just talking. Your whole body is sending out messages loud and clear.
And you know, listening is just as important as speaking in good communication. It's important not just to hear the words, but to understand what the speaker means.
My name is Ben, and this is Anne, and we're going to get the facts about communication.
Today, I'm going to talk to some communication experts. First, I'm going to see Dr. Kendall, Professor of Communications, to see what she has to say.
I'm going too.
You're going to what?
I'm going too. I'm going also.
Oh, we definitely need an expert's advice on this whole communication thing. Come on!
Well, hello! Welcome to my office.
We want to learn about verbal communication. We hear you're an expert on that.
We also heard that you're an expert in online communication.
Well, I have done some research on it. I think it's a really fascinating field to study.
I didn't know that was something you could study. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, you look at how people use and how they're changed by things like text messaging and Facebook and all those kinds of things. It's really interesting.
That's really cool.
And let's face it, no matter how much you text message and Facebook and all those kinds of things, you're still going to have to know how to deal with people face to face. So today what I thought we could do is talk a little bit about verbal communication and then also talk about how that impacts online communication. The first thing happens, I think it has to do with how and when you tell someone something important. Because I don't know if you've ever run into the situation where there's something really on your mind, maybe someone really hurt you or you want to share something, and they just don't seem to listen very well. And you know, it really is all about taking the time to figure out when that person is able to listen and when that person is willing to listen.
I'm trying to get my mom to let me go to basketball camp this year, and she keeps saying, let's talk about it later.
Yeah, exactly. So if it is something important like that, it makes sense to stop and think, okay, when would be a good time for me to stop and talk to my mom about basketball camp? So it might not be the best time when she's just coming in from work and she's trying to get dinner together and all those kinds of things. And at school, it might not be the best time to sit and talk to your friends in the cafeteria when there's lots of stuff going on. You know, it's not a really good time to listen.
One time I spilled my guts to my friend in the hallway, and that was not a good time. I told her everything that didn't need to be said in the hallway, and everyone kind of heard it.
Yeah, and the same is true if you get really upset. Let's say you're talking with someone and it's like you can just feel you're getting frustrated or mad. You know, honestly, that's probably not the best time to solve the problem. Now, the same thing is going to hold true for online communication. I mean, think about this. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but let's say you're really upset about someone. You're mad at someone, and so you get out your phone and you start texting the person. It's probably not the best time to do it. And I'll tell you what, one of the things that happens is that if you were sitting face to face, you know, you would know that, oh, you know, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Ooh, I think I just hurt the person. Yeah. You know, you'd kind of lay back a little bit. But when you don't see the person and it's just your text messaging, you know, you can say some pretty harsh things and you can really hurt people that way. So a lot of times it pays to stop and think about, you know, I'm upset. I think I just need to put the text messaging down for a few minutes and just kind of process what I'm thinking. And it's also important to keep in mind with online communication that even though it feels good to get your stuff out there and to, you know, let people know what you think, you know, it's not private. There's lots of people who can be reading the stuff, and sometimes you don't even know exactly who you're sending your information to.
One time, I accidentally sent a text to my mom instead of sending it to my friend.
Yeah, and when it comes down to it, there's just some things that you should say face to face.
Yeah.
second thing I wanted to talk to you about is this idea of iMessages.
You mean like winking?
Not quite, not quite. So iMessages would be, instead of saying you did something and they get like really defensive, you say, you know, I'm thinking this. So let me give you an example. Your brother takes your bike and you're a little ticked off at your brother. So you say, you disrespected me because you took my bike. Well, of course your brother's going to be like, whoa, you know, it would be all defensive and get really mad at you. And that's not going to solve the problem. But think about how this is a little bit different. You know, when you took my bike the other day, I felt really disrespected. See, that's a little easier to hear.
So that helps you get to the point of what the problem is, instead of just blaming the other person and making everyone mad.
That's exactly right.
So, what does that have to do with online communication?
Well, you know, you can use iMessages the same way online. Instead of saying, you are so mean, or you did this to me, if you can just stop and think, how can I use iMessages here? I felt hurt when you said that. Or I wish you would have done things a little bit differently because that was hard for me. So, figuring out the time and the place to talk to someone, and also using iMessages to frame how it is you're going to say can really make you a better communicator.
Thanks, Dr. Kendall. This was really helpful. Our next stop is to talk to some experts on body language.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, have a good day.
You too. Bye.
You know, what you do with your body during the conversation is just as important as the words you say.
Yeah, and to demonstrate this, we're here at Spark Theater and Dance. The actors are going to help us see what our bodies are saying.
Hi, I'm Betsy.
I'm Corey.
So we've learned the importance of our word choices in communication, but isn't there a whole lot more than just words in the conversations?
Of course. The first thing to think about is tone. How you say something dramatically affects what your words mean. Hey, say you and I are best friends. You tell me the most exciting thing that happened to you this whole week.
Okay, I got the lead role in the school play.
That's really great. Okay, so what do you think about what I said?
It seemed like you didn't care.
I said that's really great. What more do you want?
You sounded bored.
Exactly. My tone sounded very different, communicated something entirely different than the words coming out of my mouth. In fact, people will believe your tone more than the words you say. Now think about that. We really need to be aware of how we sound to people.
That's really great.
The other thing to consider is body language. Your body language says a lot too.
And that's what I want to learn about. I mean, how do we know what our body language is telling us?
Oh, well, it's pretty easy if you just learn to watch people. Hey, Betsy and I will act some things out, and you tell us what our body language is saying. All right. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is eye contact. It is important when you're in a conversation to maintain eye contact. It shows that you care, and it shows that you are confident. So, what Betsy and I are going to do is we are going to act out a scene. We are two people sinking on a boat, and you get to see how our interaction takes place. It's sinking.
What should we do?
I think I maybe saw some land back there. It might be a good idea to kind of, look for it or something.
I have a plan. You take the oar, you row on that side. That'll get us to the land over that way. I'll keep the bucket bailing the water out.
Okay. Scene. All right. So, which plan are you going to follow?
I would definitely follow Betsy because she sounded way more confident.
And Corey just kept looking around like he didn't know what to do.
I have to say it felt really good just to say it out there, be confident, and look you right in the eye.
And I didn't even believe myself. Okay, here's another scene for you. A guy and a girl at a coffee shop. Jackie, we've known each other since the 2nd grade, and I've been meaning to ask you this for 4 weeks now. Will you go on a date with me?
Sure.
Okay, take 2. Jackie,
Yeah?
we've known each other since like the 2nd grade, right?
Yeah?
Well, I've been meaning to ask you this for like 4 weeks. Will you go on a date with me?
Sure.
Great. Scene. Okay. Now, which Jackie wanted to go on a date with me more?
Betsy number 2 most definitely wanted to go on the date with Corey.
Yeah, Betsy number 1 just was distracted and was texting and didn't pay attention.
All right, we're going to do 2 more scenes, and you tell me what Corey's body language communicates. Hey, did you eat my last piece of birthday cake?
No, it was Jim. He did it.
All right, take 2. Hey, did you eat my last piece of birthday cake?
Nope, that was Jim. He did it.
Man. Scene. All right, if you had to pick, which Corey would you think was not telling the truth?
I wouldn't believe the first Corey was telling the truth.
No, the second Corey was way more believable, and both times he said the same exact thing, but the second one was so much more believable than the first.
So even if I'm innocent, the first scene I was looking at the ground, wasn't making eye contact, and I wasn't confident about what I was saying, it comes across that I'm guilty. Where in the second scene, I turned, looked her in the eyes, and answered confidently. Okay, here's another one for you.
Guess what? Oh my gosh, today I got my report card and I got all A's on it. And then I came home and I opened up my birthday card and there was a check for $100 in there. So I went right to the mall and can you believe it? They had the best sale ever. I found 5 pairs of jeans for $25.
That's great.
All right, scene.
Betsy seemed really excited, but Corey...
He didn't seem so interested.
And even if I was thinking about what she was saying and listening, it's important that I communicate that to her.
That was great.
Well, I hope that helps.
Yeah, it's really easy to see it now. I'm going to be way more aware of what my body is saying from now on.
Oh, that's really great.
Well, hey, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Come back anytime.
Well,
See ya.
bye. Thank you.
Good verbal communication involves clear language and respectful word choices, but it also involves clear nonverbal communication so that you're not sending a mixed message by saying one thing with your words and the opposite with your body. So now we know how to be a good speaker.
But it's just as important to be a good listener. Because without a good speaker and a good listener, you're not really communicating. Communication means that someone sends a message and someone else receives that message. You have to let people know that you're receiving their message.
Good listening is called active listening, and here are a few ways that you can make sure you're an active listener. Keep an open mind. Don't decide ahead of time on what you think of the other person's point of view. Eliminate distractions like TV or your iPod. Keep eye contact. Focus on listening, not on preparing what you're about to say next.
Yeah, but I...
Control negative emotions because they can interfere with communication.
Oh! Oh! Oh.
And finally, don't...
Interrupt the speaker! That's what you were going to say, though, wasn't it?
Well, now you'll never know. That's why you never interrupt the speaker, even if you think you know what they're going to say.
You're right. I'm sorry. You can keep talking.
It's okay, I forgive you, but I'm all flustered now. I don't remember what I was going to say next, so you can just talk about the next part.
All right. Well, there are ways that we can interact with the speaking, without interrupting, of course.
Of course.
That will help the speaker know that you're listening. Like you can make a comment or nod about something they are saying.
You know, Ben, you did a really good job on that one. That was a great way to say it.
Thanks, Anne. Or if you don't have a comment, you might have a question about something.
Ben,
Yes?
is it okay to ask questions just to clarify something they just said?
Yes. That would be a great question, Anne. Restating something that the speaker said is also a good idea.
So by taking what you said and putting it in my own words, we can understand each other more clearly?
Yes!
I see.
So there you have it. Good verbal skills, awareness of our non-verbal messages, and finally, being a good, active listener. If we can do those 3 things, we'll be very effective communicators. I'm Ben.
And I'm Ann.
Thanks for watching.
So what you're saying is if we work on our verbal skills and our non-verbal skills...
Ann.
What?
I get it.
What?
Seriously, give it a rest.
What am I doing?
That's not active listening. That's annoying listening.
So you're saying if I